we raise it and we forget about it. Now, in order to accomplish this kind of asynchronous communication in Java, the people have written an API specification called as JMS, Java Messaging Service. This can be accomplished, asynchronous communication, okay, via messaging service. And in Java, they have provided JMS as an API specification for achieving this kind of a synchronous communication model. Okay, and basically there are two types of communication: point to point and publish subscribe. Okay, whatever, some point to point and public subscribe. Point is, ActiveMQ is one of the implementation of JMS. Like this, there are many other implementations, but Java team has defined an API specification saying, hey, if in order to accomplish asynchronous communication, you guys can follow JMS protocol. Okay, and in that they have defined some nature of how the JMS communication should be. ActiveMQ team has implemented that. That's it. Now the point is, you can simply go to ChatGPT, read more about these few areas. Okay, so let's just quickly go here. Okay, JMS and ActiveMQ. So JMS, Java Messaging Service, it's a Java-based messaging API that allows application to create, send, receive, and process messages in loosely coupled asynchronous manner. Loosely coupled, sender and receiver. So in our case, sender is payment service, receiver is maybe order management system of e-commerce. So both are loosely coupled. There is no linkage and asynchronous manner. For that, JMS is introduced. It provides a standardized way for different components, okay, of a distributed application to communicate and exchange data. Okay, next, JMN defines two messaging strategies: point to point and publish subscribe. So point to point is also called as queue based, and public subscribe is called as topic based. And ActiveMQ is an open source message broker that implements JMS API. I think just this basic, if you are aware, you can talk something in an interview and it is going to be good enough. Further, they have defined some more features, okay, like messaging queues, topics, how these things work, persistence, okay, even though let's say AMQ is shut down and then restarted, it will be able to restore the messages because it saves the data. Okay, plus clustering is available, the way Redis clustering, database clustering is happening, like that ActiveMQ clustering is also available. And plus there is some monitoring console. We will even have a look at the monitoring console. Okay, but basically just read some basics so that you can talk about this. And Funda is pretty simple. Let me just tell you the main two things which you need to be aware: queue based and topic based. Okay, now let me quickly open this. So basically, first of all, there are two parties. One is sender, another one is receiver. So this is sender, and on the other side we will have a receiver. Okay, let's say here receiver. If you are doing queue based implementation, so sender is going to send one message to this queue, and receiver is going to simply receive that message. As soon as the receiver receives the message, that message is going to be gone. That means there could be, let's say, receiver receiver 2, there could be receiver 3. All three are listening to the same queue, but as soon as the first one gets it, rest of the 2 people will not be getting it. That is how queue model works. Okay, and the topic model works like this. The second one, the topic model simply works. All the 3 listeners will be receiving it. Publish, subscribe. Everybody who is subscribed to that topic, they all will be receiving it. Now, based upon different business logic, different kind of need will be there in the application. Okay. For example, there could be like, okay, for our requirement, we want to communicate, because payment system is a separate system altogether. We want to communicate from our place to e-commerce. Okay, we can simply do it on a queue, because only one service of e-commerce, maybe order management service, okay, should be processing that. This is what is our requirement. Let's say, even though if there are scaled up system, order management, multiple microservices are running, even 100 microservices are running of order management service, we want that only one receiver can pick it and accordingly process it. So we don't want every single person. So basically one guy should do it. So for our requirement, queue is the right thing to do. Why? Because even if multiple instances are running, you don't want to process the same message 3 times or 5 times. Rather, it should be processed only once. Okay, and by any one of the instance, and that's it. That does the work. As soon as that work is done, it is taken and gone. Okay, now there could be further logic. If, let's say, based upon this status that payment is successful, if different systems want to act together, for example, if we drop a message not to a queue but to a topic, I'm just trying to explain, then one of the receiver for this will be e-commerce order management service. There could be another receiver, it could be email service. You never know now, coding kitna bhi ho sakta hai, right? So you might write an email service which is listening on this topic, and as soon as you say the payment is successful, this email service is going to get started in shooting an email to the customer. By that way, same request pay, you want 2 different services to act separately. In this kind of cases, topics are preferred when there are multiple response handlings to be done for the same action. And when only one of that processing is required, basically you go ahead with queues. Okay? Now you read more about this on internet, which case scenarios queue to use, which scenarios topic to use, try to understand it more, and automatically you will get some confidence. Okay? Now rest of the simple stuff is there, guys. The way you did it for Redis, the way you did it for Mongo, you just need to do the same thing for ActiveMQ. Okay, how to set up ActiveMQ in Windows. Okay, second, how to send message to queue in a Spring Boot application using your ActiveMQ. When you simply ask all these things to ChatGPT and internet, you will get all the list of instructions. Okay, now the point is, there's just a few things. Okay, once you install ActiveMQ, okay, let's say basically here ActiveMQ, I just got it in bin in Win64, because that's my suitable one. There is activemq.bat. This is the startup file. Okay, so I'm just starting this. it is the ActiveMQ server is starting, the way Mongo started or Redis started. Now ActiveMQ is starting. Okay, देखो, few things you need to be aware. Okay, whenever it starts, it provides a web console, nothing but it provides a monitoring view where you can see what is happening like in queues and topics inside ActiveMQ. And just see ActiveMQ web console is available here. So maybe you can just take this, go to the browser. So if it is successfully started, you can come like this. By default, the credential will be admin. It gives something like this kind of a view. If the ActiveMQ is successful up and running in your side, so basically you can access like localhost :8161. By default, that is going to be the port or something like this. So basically ActiveMQ is just a software for asynchronous communication. Okay. So if it is up and running, you can just simply access this and it will come here. Admin is going to be the default credentials. Admin. Now the thing is here, manage ActiveMQ broker. Okay, just click on this, manage ActiveMQ broker. Okay, just see queues, topics. Basically itna hi hai. Queues, topic, subscriber, like how many are currently active subscribers for your topics, it will be mentioned. Okay, and some other like connections, network, some more monitoring information is there. Now the point is, I'm just going to queues. Okay, right now there is something here already. Let me do this one thing. Okay, I've simply added using internet in the code, let's say payment provider service mein, a messaging controller. Okay, simple /AMQ/sender. I've created a message producer separately, which is using which queue you want to send the data to. Next, using JMS template. Okay, this JMS template is coming directly from the Spring configuration environment itself, so it will be auto injected for you. And using this JMS template, you can simply use it. And in the local property, we have just configured the connectivity details of the broker. Okay, fine. Via TCP internally, it uses this protocol in order to connect to that. Web protocol is different. 8161 visibility is different. By actual sending and receiving, it connects via this URL and these credentials. You do this, it's a Spring bean, okay, @service. So JMS template is going to be populated to it. And then you can put a connection pool also, explore it, put it into configuration. You can jump there as well. And simply saying, we are creating /AMQ/send, and then you can put a message. This guy is simply calling, okay, JMS template, like convert and send. This is the message. You can read more, okay, but it basically to this queue, it will send the message, whatever is coming in. Okay, now the service is up and running. I killed it, and that is the reason here it said socket timeout and all that, because we just for demonstration I killed the service. So now it is up. Fine, let's just simply go. Okay, maybe new, duplicate, payment processing service. So payment processing service ka application property dot properties of payment processing service. Not this. Okay, let's see the quick port number. 8082. So we are doing a post request. 8082. and inside that 8082, simply we have written a test. This is just a simple POC, AMQ/send and some message. So AMQ/send, and maybe you can put some message. Okay. Test val :5, some request structure. And then this is as JSON. Send. Okay, 200 success. Let's go to the logs here. Fine, that test val came. Okay, and message producer, it is sending to the payment queue. The name of the queue is this. The name of the queue is payment -q. You go here, you refresh. Payment queue is created. There is one pending message there because just now we enqueued it. You can click on the queue to see what is the data available there as well. So this is the message which was done. You can click on this, and basically you can actually see just a console. Like on the queue with the name this, we have inserted one message like this. Now ideal expected is the controller of, there is going to be one component in the e-commerce service. They will write a listener to this. So we wrote a sender logic. Now the e-commerce team will write a listener to this, which will also listen to the same queue which was available here. Okay, so same queue name, they will write a listener, and as soon as a request comes there, it will receive it and it will just process it. This is how these two systems will talk to one another on the same queue name. Okay, fine, this is what it is. Now the point is, just explore about it, set it up at your side, use it in the code, and automatically these things will start coming up, and then you can confidently talk about theory as well as practical, where we used ActiveMQ in our system.